The red panda. It's hard to believe that something this cute actually exists. Well, today I'm going to go through step by step how to draw a red panda. Get your pencils and paper out and your marker pens if you got them. Now we're going to draw. Starting off with a couple of shapes. Rounded shape there, that's going to be the head. An oval for the body. And a skinnier, longer bent oval for the tail. Now we're going to pop down here one leg. Roughly mark in where the next leg goes. It's under the head there. Now put another little shape there where the snout's going to be. And let's go back here onto one of the back legs. So it's walking along just like you saw in the little film clip I showed. There's the other back leg stretching out as it's walking. Might make that tail a bit bigger. Refining this a little bit. Making it sort of blobby out there a bit. What you'll notice here is that if you was to put a line there, we're going to put the nose on one side of that. Of course, it's looking off to one side a little bit. And we're going to pop the mouth in underneath that. Work out where the eyes are going to be. Notice their eye there, close to us. It's a little bit further away from the snout than that one. And they've got sort of funny, sad little markings above there. It's one of the things that makes it look cute, I guess. It's got like a permanent cute expression on its face. So just to mark out a little bit here so I know where I'm going with this. Little dark patches there. Those rounded bits there to make up the markings of the head there. Just measuring there to make sure that the side close to us is a little bit bigger than the side further away from us. One ear there. Another ear there. A bit like a little letter V slipping off there and there, because I've got sort of fluffy bits that come to a point there. The nape of the neck there, just marking out here. Refining the feet a little bit. Now their undersides are mostly black. All the red's on top, and so we're going to take advantage of that in this drawing here. And marking that out to where it should go. A nice big fluffy tail. And work out where the ground is going to be. Before we go in with a pen, I've got to work out, there's going to be a light patch there. And a grayer patch out there leading out to the darkness. Do a few more details here in the face. I'm just putting down guidelines rather than going straight in with the marker pen. Got to work out where lines have to go, because once I go in with the marker pen it's hard to erase those lines. Work out the eye a bit. Shade in a little bit, make sure there's a little light bit there. And the nose. So if you're looking on the right hand side of the screen, you can sort of see the face of this guy. You can sort of copy the shape of that nose if you like. Now we're going in with a marker pen. I'm using a Copic marker, but you can use whatever you like really. Sharpies, anything will do. It's not a particularly fine marker pen that I'm using. It's quite bold really. but that's okay. Just got to use it gently. So I use lots of dashes here to make up the fur. On the head here, I'm spreading the dashes out a bit to make a grey. And the dashes are a little bit longer on the sides there to make it look fluffier. Especially under those ears there. So I'm hoping you're able to follow along with this. It's not a real hard one to do. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, because there is variation in the species. And things are never perfect. I mean, mine's never perfect. I think my head's actually too big on this. Probably should be a slightly smaller head, but I guess I'm trying to make it look cute. Whiskers out there. Okay, popping whiskers here. I'm going to show you something with the whiskers in a minute. So I'm doing the dark patch under the eye there, and comes down past this eye here. Now see where I've got the whiskers? You see I don't go all the way up, I just leave a little bit of white next to one of those whisker lines there. And then zoom in, make the rest of that stripe there. Just working on the side of that whisker pad a bit, a few dots there. So I very gently dab or dash some lines there. But when it comes out the side here, the lines get a little bit longer because there's a little bit fluffier or longer fur. So his face is kind of black and white, or dark red and white. The top bit's actually a red, but because we're doing a black and white, it's going to be sort of a greyish colour. So again, I'm just spanning out a lot of the dashes. Let's mark in this other ear here. The outline's just sort of a jagged line or a zigzaggy line. Darken a little patch of ear there. And back to doing a few dashes on the head to try and make it look like a kind of a grey. So when you're using just a marker pen, you've got to try and work out other ways of making greys to make tones. So a little bit of shadow on the ear here because the body is going to be a fairly darkish looking body. Just marking out where I'm going to do it. I'm not going to worry too much about the legs, they're going to be mostly black. But working out here in the center there where I put those sort of lines, almost like a topographical map. That's where it's going to be sort of light in the center and coming out darker to the edges. So where I want it lighter, I want to really space out the little dashes. They don't want to be too close together. Whereas on the back and around the edges, I want them quite dark, so I'm putting the lines close together. If you're just watching this and not drawing along, you're going to be grateful because I speed some bits up. If you are doing a draw along, then you may want to pause some bits. If I speed bits up to make a shorter video, or if I'm just going too fast in general, you can always just pause the video and catch up. So on the right hand side of the screen here, I've got the sort of the finished mid-body showing you the different tones that I get through lines closer together and lines more sparsed out. You can do it fairly quick. Then after a while you have to sort of go in and just hit the occasional blank spot with a careful dash. But most of it you can go fairly rough on. So it's going to take a little while to do this. I'm going to speed up the video to the point where the body's all done until we get to the leg stage. I sometimes get viewers say that they are doing the drawing or doing the follow along drawing for a school project. If that's the case, thanks for watching the video and leave a comment below. Always love to hear from you. Okay, now I'm going in with a thicker marker pen, just using a Sharpie, and I'm shading in the legs, but notice I'm not going all the way to the edges. I'm very careful not to go to the edges. I'm going to do that with a finer marker pen. But just to simplify this a bit, I'm just making the legs black. And even under the belly a bit black as well. Okay, back with the fine marker pen again. And now I'm going to really do some fluffy bits here. I like to make those legs all fluffy. It's really all fluffy and furry, makes you want to give it a good cuddle. So little dashes, even sort of flicking it out at the end to make it even softer at the ends. If you had a ballpoint pen, you could probably do a good job with this too, I imagine. Again, I've sped up this little bit just so that the video doesn't go forever. If you are following along, just pause the video and catch up. Scribbling over part of the leg that I've blacked in, just because the marker pen I've got here, the Copic one's a lot darker than the Sharpie. So just a little scribble over it just to darken up the Sharpie bits. And here I'm marking in a little bit where the markings I did before join up with the blackness. So I blend that in. Time to work on that tail. So working out a few lines here to fluff it out, and sort of zigzagging, roughly putting some lines there as guidelines, because they have a sort of slightly stripy tail which makes them very cute. There we go. So here I'm just finding a few little white bits, so I just want to very carefully put a stripe in, and now it's onto the tail. Lots of long dashes, lines to make up this fluffiness, and just gathering it together a little bit tighter where the actual stripes are. Sometimes when I put the next thing in, the stripes disappear, so I have to go over the stripes to make them darker. But I'm sure you're getting the idea. And you can see this tail below here, you can sort of copy that to a certain extent. Remember, it's all fur, it's going all over the place. It doesn't have to be a perfect copy of what I'm doing. In fact, as you write, you notice your writing is different from everybody else's. I'm sure if you put long dashes down like I'm doing, that's going to be probably different from mine. And that's okay, that's called your style. So your style is going to be a bit different from mine. In fact, we'd probably get 100 people copying this and each one would be slightly different. So you don't worry about things being different. Like I say, that's your style. You embrace that. There you go, nice fluffy tail there. Now I'm going to use the eraser and erase some of those lines. That helps me see where I am, because sometimes the pencil lines underneath can sort of disguise bits and you think, oh, I might have to go over and touch up a few bits. So that's why we erase it. And even with these marker pens, it's probably good to give it 5 to 10 minutes before you start using the eraser. Now I'm going to anchor it down by putting some ground here. So I'm doing some wibbly wobbly lines, some dashes, some half circles, brackets, dots, just to make it look like some rough ground. And under the tail too. Imagine the light's coming from above, which is why its legs are black, apart from being black in colour. And the two legs in the centre there, the far back one and the front one, they look like they're anchored down a bit more. The other ones that are moving look like they're lifted off. Sometimes I put tiny little itty bitty circles in there like little pebbles. Just touch up the face in a few little minor spots. Just refining some lines there to make that white bit look more white. Okay, time to review it and sort of think, is it finished? I think it just needs to be a little bit more fluffier. So I'm going to increase the tummy out there because the body looks a little bit skinny. They're much more cuddly looking. So I'm going to extend that down a little bit. Thanks for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, great. If you've enjoyed this, let me know in the comments below. And maybe check out some of my other how to draw videos. I'll see you in the next one.